Today we are going to work on the wheels on the Bobcat. I had one of them fall off this last summer and I have a temporary slash permanent fix and I want to show you guys. So I was using my Bobcat last summer and I had the wheel weights on and I didn't notice that it was wiggling, and you can see now on the paint there that it was scuffing or rubbing on that a little bit with the tire cables I had, and it ended up falling off. These are the lug studs that these machines come with, and it ended up wobbling for so long that they actually pop through. Now these are for the other side, so they don't quite, but with a little bit of tension on there, that will pop right through. I have some washers here, and you just put this over the hole like this, and then you tighten it down and it auto centers. I kind of work them on and off a little bit to get it to pinch on there really nice. And it has not, these are just super cheap thin washers. There's nothing hard about them or special. And that just sits on there, and that has been working very, very well. Once I put my wheel weights on, I can't see these, so I want to make sure they don't loosen up. So I'm going to clean this up, and then I'm going to try welding these on to make it like new. We'll see what happens. So this is what the wheel is supposed to look like. That's my undamaged one. This is it all cleaned up and ready to go. What I did here, and you could do this could be a out in the field fix. I didn't have a hardware store close, but these are just bolts. I did grade 8. And you just thread them in from the back side. I have enough room there. So I just threaded those in from the back side, and then I bought some lug nuts for the front side. And this is what the original is. So it just sits on there flat and you bolt it in with the lug stud style. So I have one wheel with lug nuts and all the rest are lug studs. So we got this cleaned up. We're gonna kind of I'm gonna bolt it on and then work on tightening up those washers with the nuts so they kind of seat right and have it nice and centered. And then we'll put some tacks on it and check it out. I have it on, it's bolted up tight. It's centered pretty much perfect. I wiggled it around. Move the wheel back and forth, loosen the nuts, tighten the nuts, loosen the nuts, tighten the nuts. And I've had these on, these washers. I didn't mark the exact spot, but they're kind of worn into those holes. And I did test this before when I first decided to try this idea. I didn't put my weights on or anything. I just bolted it on, drove it around, checked them, drove it around, checked them, and they never loosened up. So once the washers are kind of pancaked in like that, it seems like it holds really well. So now I am going to start welding a little bit while they're set in place so I know everything is centered and correct. And then we'll take it off and see if we can get a little bit better welds on them. All right. I think that will work pretty good. So, there it is. I think that'll work just fine. Max is out at like 4 miles an hour anyways, so don't really need to have it perfect. I like it. I'm not gonna weld all the way around every single one. I'm gonna bolt it up and just make sure none of the stuff interferes with the lug nuts. I think we'll call that good. Just needs to stay on there and you can't see any of it anyways. Looks like it burned in nice. See some marks on the back side. Should be set. I set the lug nuts in it and then just sprayed it with some black. Slow down the rust. Again, you're not gonna see it with the wheel weights on, so just kind of slow the process a little bit. Got my chains all installed. We'll put it back on. I have these threaded rod, and that's what I hang my weights on. I tried using some carriage bolts, but that was a huge pain. They fit in the holes nice with the square head, but then when you're trying to slide the weight on, you have to reach your arm behind and hold it. So when you do the threaded rod, you just do nuts and washers on both sides, and then you have this rigid piece to just pick your weight up and just slide it right on. So way, way better to do it this way.
Do anything for you? Sorry,
We got tubes in those, chains back on, weights back on, all bolted up. So looking forward to getting it out and using it a little bit more. Spring is here officially tomorrow, so we're gonna be using this a bunch.